Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, August 29th, 2025. Today we'll recap college basketball, Major League Baseball, WNBA, soccer, tennis, NASCAR, Formula One. We'll do news and notes and best bet, and for the first time this year, the Fab Five. We'll hold off the cornerback rankings till another day, probably Monday. So we'll start with college football. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's and the weekend's games. We'll begin with yesterday's games. There's more games, or there's less games tonight than yesterday. South Florida upsets number 25 Boise State 34-7. Rutgers over Ohio 34-31. Bowling Green over Lafayette 26-7. NC State over East Carolina 24-17. UCF over Jacksonville State 17-10. Delaware over Delaware State 35-17. Yale Monroe over St. Francis 29-0. Wyoming over Akron 10-0. Missouri over Central Arkansas 61-6. Duke over Elon 45-17. Oklahoma State over Tennessee Martin 27-7. Minnesota over Buffalo 23-10. Houston over Stephen F. Austin 27-0. UAB over Alabama State 52-42. Nebraska over Cincinnati 20-17. Wisconsin over Miami of Ohio 17-0. And Stony Brook is shut out by San Diego State 42-0. All right, tonight, 6 o'clock, you have Tarleton State against Army. My line for this is Tarleton State as actually a 5-point favorite I have projected. I have Army as an underdog at home. Total 50 and 17/20. And it is Army by 13F, total 46F. I'm going to take Tarleton getting the points, and 4-1 on the money line's enticing as well. 7 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Western Michigan and Michigan State. My line's Sparty by 6, total 51 and 17/20, and it's 21.5, 49.5. I'm going to take Western in the points. I think Western could be pretty good. ACC Network, Kennesaw State, and Wake. I have Kennesaw by 3, total 53 and 2/5, and it is Wake by 18.5, total 51.5. I'm going to take Kennesaw getting the points in plus 680 on the money line. All right, neutral site, Bank of America Stadium, App State, Charlotte. I've picked them in 60. And App State's giving 3.5, totals 49. I'm taking Charlotte plus the points and plus 128 outright. It's in Charlotte. I probably should have given Charlotte an extra 1.5 on the line. The Duke's Mayo Classic on ESPNU. Bethune and FIU. I have FIU by 28, total 50 and 3/5, and it is 27.5 and 54.5. So I'm going to take the under. Western Illinois, number 12, Illinois on Peacock. I have Illinois by 30, total 62 and 3/20, and it is 48.5 and 64.5. I'm going to take Western in the points to hang around. Wagner, Kansas. I have Kansas by 22, total 44 and 9/10, and it's 45.5, total 56.5. I'm going to take Wagner getting the points. 8 o'clock on Fox, Auburn, Baylor. Baylor by 12, total 54 and 2/5, and it is... Why is Auburn favored? Why the fuck is Auburn favored? That's just favoritism because they're in the SEC. Total 57.5. Give me Baylor plus the points and minus the weight outright. It's kind of a pick'em, but Baylor should be favored. Georgia Tech, Colorado, 8 o'clock on ESPN. I have Georgia Tech by 18, total 54 and 3/4, and it's 3.5 and 50.5. I'm laying the points. Desmond King, the quarterback of Georgia Tech's pretty good. Colorado's going to take a big step back without the stars, so I'm going to lay the points with Georgia Tech. UNLV, Sam Houston, 9:30 on CBS Sports Network. I have UNLV by 8.5, total 54.5, and it's 9.5 and 61.5. I'm gonna that's a tough one. I'm gonna lay the points with UNLV. So I have two road favorites laying points, and then 10:30 FS1, Central Michigan, San Jose State. I have San Jose State by 24, total 52 and 3/5, and it is 13.5, 51.5. I'm gonna lay the 13 in the hook with San Jose State. Okay, Saturday slate. It's loaded. This is about as loaded as of the opening Saturday I can remember in a long time. A lot of great matches, obviously. All right, first up, 12 o'clock on Fox. Number 1, Texas. Number 3, Ohio State. My projection is Ohio State by 6, total 48 and 9/20. And oh, by the way, I'm not doing FCS lines and totals. It's just time with that. And Ohio State's giving 1.5, totals 46.5. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Ohio State. Defending champs, slight home favorite, Arch Manning, true road game. There's all the makings. Good game, but I just don't see Ohio State losing. I'm going to lay the 1.5. On ABC, Syracuse number 24, Tennessee for Mercedes-Benz. Tennessee, I have as 18-point favorite, so 56 and 19/20. It's 13.5 and 51.5. So the question is, do I lay it with Tennessee or take the over? I'm going to go with the over. On ESPN, Mississippi State, Southern Miss. I have Southern Miss by 15, total 56 and 7/10. And it's Mississippi State by 14.5, total 16.5. I think Southern Miss is going to be better than expected this season. And they're home. I'm going to take them getting the 14.5, and I would take a stab at plus 450. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too much. And I'm down on Mississippi State too. FAU in Maryland. On Big Ten Network, I have Pick'em in 55 and a fifth. And it's 14.5 and 61.5. 14.5 in favor of Maryland. I'm going to take Florida Atlantic getting the points. Big Ten Network, Ball State, Purdue. I have Purdue by 6, total 16 and 3/10, and it's 17.5, 48.5. I'll take Ball State. The over's kind of jumping out, too. I might go with the over instead. So 11.5, and then... Yeah, I'm going to go with the over. Although Ball State and the over are two good ones. ESPNU Northwestern, Tulane. I have Tulane by 15, total 50 and 7/20, and it is 4.5 and 45.5. I'm going to lay the 4.5 with Tulane. I love it. All right. Merrimack, Kent State. Duquesne, Pitt, VMI, Navy. Skip all those. Even ESPN Bet doesn't have those lines up. Toledo, Kentucky, SEC Network, 12:45. I have Toledo by 21, total 46 and a quarter. Although FanDuel has them. Kentucky's 9.5, totals for 8.5. I'll take Toledo plus the points and plus 290. All right. And in the meantime, Duquesne, Pitt. Pitt's 39.5, totals 55 and a half. Gunpoint over. VMI, Navy. Navy's 41.5, totals 15.5. I'll lay with Navy. They're going to be awesome this year. Then Merrimack, Kent State. I have Kent State 6.5, total 15.5. I'll lay it with Kent State. That's low. Fordham, Boston College. Boston College is giving 37.5, totals 53.5. Over. Robert Morris, West Virginia. West Virginia is giving 38.5, totals 55.5. That's another over. Central Con, UConn. UConn's minus 25.5, totals 51.5. I'll take Central Con in the points, actually. 2:30 Fox Sports 1, Old Dominion and number 20 Indiana. My line's Indiana by 21, total 55.5, and it is 23.5 and 52.5. I'm gonna go with the over. Eastern Kentucky, Louisville. Louisville's giving 38.5, totals 56.5. That's a 3 o'clock game on ACC Network. That's a hard one, but I think that's another over. 3:30 CBS, Nevada, number 2 Penn State. I have Penn State 39, total 50 and 3/20. And it's 42.5 and 55.5. Under. ESPN 3:30, Marshall, number 5 Georgia. I have Georgia 39, total 53 and 17/20. And it is 38.5 and 52.5. Ooh, that's the closest one I've had so far. Slight over. All right, here's a good one. Number 8, Alabama, Florida State, 3:30 ABC. I have Alabama by 12, total 46 and 4/5, and it is Bama by 13.5, total 48.5. I'm close on this one too. Slight under. 3:30 on Fox, South Dakota, number 22, Iowa State. Iowa State's giving 14.5, totals 47.5. South Dakota's awesome. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to go over. CBS Sports Network, Bucknell Air Force. Air Force is giving 3.5, totals 54.5. I'll take Bucknell in the points. I just don't think Air Force should be giving that much to anyone. Temple, UMass. I have UMass by 9, total 56 and 9/10. And Temple's a 2.5 point favorite. Totals 48.5. I'm going to take UMass in the points and even money on the money line. Holy Cross, Northern Illinois. That's also 3:30. Northern's giving 10.5, totals 51.5. Go over. 4 o'clock, Big Ten Network, Montana State, number 7, Oregon. Oregon's 27.5, totals 56.5. That's an over. Maine, Liberty. Liberty's giving 25.5, totals 52.5. LA with Liberty. I think they're going to be awesome. Alabama, A&M, and Arkansas, 4:15 SEC Network. Arkansas is giving 46.5, totals 61.5. Bama, A&M will cover that. That's too high. Chattanooga, Memphis, 4:30. Memphis is 27.5, totals 55.5. Over. 6 o'clock, Illinois State, number 18, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 36.5, totals 60.5. I'm going to take Illinois State to cover. I think that's a little high. Fox Sports 1, Albany, Iowa. Iowa's 38.5, totals 50.5. Tough one. I'm going to say over, but I don't feel good about it. Coastal Virginia, ACC Network, 6 o'clock. I have Virginia by 21, total 56 and a 20th, and it is 13.5 and 57.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Cavs. Weber State and James Madison. And then LIU, number 15, Florida at 7. North Dakota, number 17, Kansas State. I'm not going to do the rest of the FCS, FBS lines. ESPN, UTSA, number 19, Texas A&M. I have A&M by 3, total 58.25. And it is... I don't know why I can't find this line. A&M's 19. Oh, they have it down for 9 o'clock. That's a 7 o'clock game. 22.5 and 57.5. I'm going to take UTSA Roadrunners getting all the points. Charleston Southern Vandy, also paying Middle Tennessee, North Alabama, Western Kentucky, Southeast Missouri, Arkansas State, Morgan State, South Alabama, Nichols, Troy. All right, 7:30 ABC, number 9 LSU, number 4 Clemson. This is the Fowler-Herb Street game. Or it might be Reese Davis and Herb Street because Fowler has tennis. Although there is no tennis on Saturday, so I guess Fowler will go up to this. Clemson's a 9-point favorite, totals 55 and 4/5. And it's 4.5 and 57.5. I'm going to lay the 4.5 at Clemson. They're home. Cade Kupnick, Heisman candidate. Death Valley is going to be rocking. So I'm going to lay it with Clemson. On NBC, New Mexico, number 14, Michigan. I have Michigan 18, total 59 or 56 and 19/20. And it's 34.5 and 49.5. I'm going to take New Mexico getting the points. That's a lot of points. Pine Bluff, number 23, Texas Tech. We can skip that one. Big Ten Network, Missouri State, USC. I have SC by 15, total 59 and 13/20. And it is 36.5 and 59.5. I'm going to take all the points. USC might be peeking ahead a little bit. Southeast Louisiana, Louisiana Tech, skip. UTEP, Utah State. I have Pick'em in 61 and 13/20, and it is Utah State 5.5 total, 60.5. I'm going to take the dog and UTEP to cover. I don't know if they'll win. 7:45 SEC Network, Georgia State number 21, Ole Miss. I have Ole Miss by 18, total 54 and 19/20s, and it's 34.5 and 60.5. I'm going to take the points in Georgia State. Portland State, BYU, we can skip over that one. That's a 8 o'clock game, as is Rice, Louisiana. I have Louisiana by 6, total 50 and a fifth. And it's 11.5 and 47.5. I'm going to take Rice getting the points. Eastern Michigan, Texas State. I have Texas State by 9, total 58 and 3/10. And it's 13.5 and 57.5. I'm going to take Eastern in the points. We can skip Lamar, North Texas, and Abilene Christian, Tulsa. East, Texas A&M at number 16, SMU is 9 o'clock at ACC Network. We can skip that. Bryan, New Mexico State 2. 9:30 Fox Sports 1, Georgia Southern, Fresno State. I have Georgia Southern by 21, total 49.5. I'm laying the 1.5 with Georgia Southern. That is way too low. Georgia Southern's the better team. They have a chance to go undefeated. I think a couple Group of 5 teams could go undefeated this year. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Georgia Southern. Northern Arizona, number 11, Arizona State at 10 o'clock. We can skip. Idaho and Wazoo on the C-Dub network. We can skip. Next up, 10:30 ESPN, Cal, Oregon State. I have Oregon State by 24, total 51. And Oregon State's only giving 1.5, total 49.5. I'm going to lay the points with Oregon State. 10:30 TNT, Hawaii, Arizona. I have Hawaii by 1, total 50 and 7/10. And Arizona's giving a whopping 17.5, total 53.5. This would be pick'em if Hawaii didn't win that game over Stanford. Or no, Arizona State would be favored. So I'll take Hawaii getting the points. I don't know if they'll win outright, but I'll just take them getting the points. 11 p.m. on Fox, Utah and UCLA. I have Utah by 3, total 43 3/4. And it's 5.5 and 51.5. I'm going to take the under in that one. And then last but not least for Saturday, Big Ten Network, Colorado State, Washington. I have Washington as a 9-point home dog, total 48 and 17/20. It's Washington by a whopping 21.5, total 53.5. I think Colorado State's going to be awesome this year. I'm taking them plus the points, and I'm going to take a stab at plus 980 too. I think they can win. All right, Sunday, 2 games, 3 o'clock from Atlanta. Virginia Tech, number 13, South Carolina. The Aflac kickoff. It's actually 3 o'clock. I have South Carolina by 6, total 48 and 19/20, and it is 7.5 and 51.5. So I'm going to go with the under. And last but not least, 7:30, ABC, number 6, Notre Dame, number 10, Miami. I have Miami by 6, total 60 and 3/5. And Notre Dame's a 2.5-point favorite. That's ridiculous. Total's 50.5. I love the over, and I love Miami. And I don't know where to go. So 1.5, half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's an 8.5-point difference on Miami, and it's a over 10 on the over. So I'm going to pick the over as the pick. But I do think a fun same gamer would be Miami in the money line and the over 50.5. I think that's a really, really wise move. Now I'm going to go over the baseball results from yesterday and look ahead to today and the weekend. Red Sox over to Orioles 3-2, D-backs over to Brewers 6-4, Astros over to Rockies 4-3, Cards over to Pirates 4-1, Giants over to Cubs 4-3, Phillies over to Braves 19-4, Marlins over to Mets 7-4, and the Yankees over to White Sox 10-4. All right, today's games, all night games, 6:30, Cards Reds, Matthew Liberatore and Zach Little. Just got to pull up FanDuel for the odds. Reds minus 122, Cards plus 104, over under 9, overs even money, unders minus 122. Cards -1.5 +168. Reds +1.5 is -205. For this one, I'm going to go all under 8.5. That is +102. 645, Braves Phillies. Bryce Edler and Ranger Suarez. Phils -184, Braves +154, over under 9, -110 each way. Braves +1.5, -137, Phils -1.5, +114. I like under 9. Rays Nationals. Adrian Hauser, Mitch Parker. Rays -142, Nats +120, over under 9, -110 each way. Rays -1.5, +114, Nats +1.5 is -137. For this one, I'm going to go with under 3.5 Nationals runs +118. 7 o'clock, Brewers, Blue Jays. Freddie Peralta, Shane Bieber. Jays -132, Brewers +112, over under 7.5, overs -115, unders -105, Brewers +1.5 -200, Jays -1 +164. Getting it, arguably the best team in baseball is an underdog. Take it, +102. Not so sure about Shane Bieber. Just one good start. Do it against a good team, Shane Bieber. Prove to me that you're still good. Marlins, Mets. Yuri Perez and Jonah Tong making his debut. Mets -172, Marlins +144, over under 7.5, overs -120, unders -102. Marlins +1.5 is -154, Mets -1.5 +126. Because of the unknown with Tong, it'd be funny to go with the Marlins at the plus money, but the Mets can't lose 2 in a row. I'm sorry. But I'm going to go with over 4.5 Met runs +110. MLB Network, Pirates, Red Sox. Paul Skeens and Peyton Tolly making his debut. Pirates are favored in Boston, -110. Red Sox -106, over under 8. Overs -106, unders -118. Pirates -1 +152. Red Sox +1.5 is -184. The Red Sox are playing as good as anybody in the American League right now, and they're a home freaking underdog. I get it. Paul Skeens, best pitcher in baseball, yada yada. Pirates stink though. They're only -110 because Paul Skeens is treated like a quarterback. So I'm going to go with the Red Sox at -106 as a home dog. Mariners, Guardians. George Kirby, Logan Allen. Mariners -156, Guardians +132, over under 8, overs even money, unders -122. Mariners -1.5 is +114, Guardians +1.5 -137. I'm going to go with the over at even money. 7:30, Yankees, White Sox. Carlos Rodon and Yoendris Gomez. Yanks -220, White Sox +184, over under 8.5, overs -128, unders +104. Yanks -1.5 or -132, White Sox +1.5 is +110. I'm going to go all over. Oof. I'm going to go over 5.5 Yankee runs +106. That offense is dominant against bad teams. 8 o'clock, Angels, Astros. Tyler Anderson and Christian Javier. Astros -178, Angels +150, over under 9, overs even money, unders -122. Angels +1.5 is -140, Astros -1.5 +116. Christian Javier is not as bad as his ERA says. I'm going to go with under 3.5 Angel runs -102. Tigers, Royals. Chris Paddock, Seth Lugo. Royals -132, Tigers +104, over under 8.5, overs -122, unders even money. Tigers +1.5 -200, Royals -1.5 +164. I'm going to go with the team rather than the pitcher. I'm going with the Tigers with +104. Padres, Twins. Nestor Cortez and Zebby Matthews. Padres -126, Twins +108, over under 8.5, overs -122, unders even money. Padres -1.5 +134, Twins +1.5 -162. I'm going to go all over 9.5 +124. $8:30, Cubs, Rockies. Cade Horton, Herman Marquez. Cubs minus 220. Rockies plus 184 over under 11 minus 110 each way. Cubs minus 1.5 minus 150. Rocks plus 1.5 is plus 125. So Chris Bryant against his old team. I'm gonna go with under 3.5 all runs for the Rockies. That's plus 134. Rangers A's, 10 o'clock MLB Network. Jack Leiter and Jeffrey Springs. A's are favored, minus 132. The Rangers are plus 112 over under 10.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 178. A's minus 1.5 plus 146. I'm going to go with the Rangers plus 112. They should not be an underdog in that spot. Also, MLB Network, D-backs Dodgers, Zach Gallen and Blake Snell. Dodgers minus 196, D-backs plus 164 over under 8.5, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. D-backs plus 1.5 minus 138, Dodgers minus 1.5 plus 106. I'm going to go under 8.5 minus 108. Zach Gallen's not that bad. And then 10:15 on Apple TV Plus. O's Giants, Dean Kremer, Robbie Ray. Giants minus 158. O's plus 134 over under 7.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. O's plus 1.5 minus 166. Giants minus 1.5 plus 138. I'm going to go with the over at minus 106. All right, the rest of the weekend. Saturday, 3 o'clock Brewers, Jays. 4 o'clock Rays, Nats. MLB Network, Marlins, Mets, Pirates, Red Sox. 6 o'clock Braves, Phillies. 6:30 Cards, Reds. 7 o'clock Angels, Astros. Yankees, White Sox. Padres, Twins. 7:15 on Fox, Mariners, Guardians, Tigers, Royals, O's, Giants. 8 o'clock Cubs, Rockies. 9 o'clock D-backs, Dodgers. 10 o'clock MLB Network, Rangers, A's. The local game here, it's probably going to be O's, Giants. But the game that's probably going to... The biggest game of the three is Tigers, Royals, probably. Or Mariners, Guardians. The Royals are ahead of the Guardians in the wild card race now. So, Tigers, Royals is the biggest one. Here, local is probably O's, Giants. All right, Sunday. 12 o'clock Cards, Reds. 1 o'clock on Roku. Padres, Twins. 1:30 Pirates, Red Sox. Rays, Nats. MLB Network, Brewers, Jays. Marlins, Mets. Mariners, Guardians. 2 o'clock Yankees, White Sox, Angels, Astros, Tigers, Royals. 3 o'clock Cubs, Rockies. 4 o'clock O's, Giants, Rangers, A's, D-backs, Dodgers, and then Sunday Night Baseball, Braves, Phillies. And yes, we're going to do a podcast on Labor Day just because of so much going on in all the sports and whatnot. Okay, now we'll move on to the WNBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday, look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Liberty over the Mystics, 89-63. Storm over the Lynx, 93-79. Mercury over the Sky, 83-79. Only 2 games tonight. 7:30 on Ion, Wings Dream. The Dream or 14.5 point favorite, Souls 165, I think. That's high with Becker, so I'm going to take the Wings getting the points. And then 10 o'clock on Ion, Fever Sparks. The Sparks are giving 1.5, totals 178.5. Probably the right line. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Sparks, so don't feel super about it. Saturday, busy slate. 7 o'clock NBA TV, Lynx Sun. 8:30 Mystics Valkyries. 9 o'clock Sky Storm. 10 o'clock NBA TV, Liberty Mercury. And then Sunday, 8 o'clock Mystics Sparks. And 8:30 NBA TV, Fever Valkyries. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. We have results from the Conference League and the Europa League, and then we have everything going on today and the weekend. We'll do all the results first. Hold your horses, guys. Alright, Europa. FC Midtjylland over Cusp Kuopo 2-0. Midtjylland advances 6-0 in aggregate. Malmo FF over Sigma Olomouc 2-0. Malmo FF advances 5-0 in aggregate. Samsonov and Panathinaikos 0-0 draw. Panathinaikos advances 2-1 on aggregate. Ludogorets Razard over KF Shinkdija 4-1. Ludogorets advances 5-3 on aggregate. PAOK Salakina over Rejga 5-0. Dynamo Kyiv over Maccabi Tel Aviv 1-0, but Maccabi advances 3-2 on aggregate. FC Utrecht Zerjinski Mostar 0-0 draw. Utrecht advances 2-0 on aggregate. Lech Ponzin over Racing Gang 2-1. Racing Gang advances 6-3 on aggregate. Young Boys over Slovan Bratislava 3-2. Young Boys advances 4-2 on aggregate. FCSB over Aberdeen 3-0. FCSB advances 5-2 on aggregate. And Braga over Lincoln 5-1. Braga advances 9-1 on aggregate. Conference League was busier. FC Noah over Olimpija Ljubljana 3-2. FC Noah advances 7-3 on aggregate. Fredrikstad and Crystal Palace 0-0 draw. Crystal Palace advances 1-0 on aggregate. Amania Nicosia over Wolfsburger 1-0. Tied on aggregate, but Amania advances 5-4 on penalties. Lausanne Sports over Besiktas 1-0. They advance 2-1 on aggregate. Rapid Vienna over Gyori Ito FC 2-0. Rapid advances 3-2 on aggregate. Riga's Futbola Skola and Hamrin Spartans 2-2 draw. Hamrin advances 3-2 on aggregate. AZ Alkmaar over Levski Sofia 4-1. AZ Alkmaar advances 6-1 on aggregate. CFR Cluj Napoca over BK Hacken 1-0, but BK Hacken advances 7-3 on aggregate. CSU Craiova over Istanbul Bashkir 3-1. Craiova advances 5-2 on aggregate. AEK Athens over Anderlecht 2-0. Athens advances 3 on aggregate. Raquel Chestova over Arda 2-1. Chestova advances 3-1 on aggregate. NK Selje over Banik Ostrava 2-0. Selje advances 3-0 on aggregate. Strasbourg over Bron BIF 3-2. Strasbourg advances 3-2 on aggregate. Drita Jalan over FC Differenjo 3-1-0. Drita advances 3-1 on aggregate. Fiorentina over Polisa Zinamor 3-2. Fiorentina advances 6-2 on aggregate. Rayo Vallecano over Neman Grodno 4-0. Rayo advances 5-0 on aggregate. Dynamo City and Jagiellonia Bialystok 1-1 draw. Jagiellonia advances 4-1 on aggregate. Shelburne over Linfield 2-0. Shelburne advances 5-1 on aggregate. Breda Balik over AC Vitris 3-1. Breda Balik advances 5-2 on aggregate. Legia Warsaw Hibernian 3-3 draw. Warsaw advances 5-4 on aggregate. Mainz over Rosenborg 4-1. Mainz advances 5-3 on aggregate. Shakhtar Donetsk over Servette 2-1. Shakhtar Donetsk advances 3-2 on aggregate. Shamrock Rovers Santa Clara 0-0 draw. Shamrock Rovers advances 2-1 on aggregate. In the Pro League yesterday, too, Damak and El Hazm 1-1 draw. Al Ali over Neom SC 1-0. And El Etifak over Al Khaloud 2-1. All right, we have a lot today. 3:30 La Liga, or no, 1:30 and 3:30. 1:30 Elche and Levante. Elche plus 120, Levante plus 260, draw plus 210. I'm gonna go with the draw plus 210, and then 3:30 is Valencia Getafe. Valencia plus 135, Getafe plus 270, draw plus 195. I'm going to go with Getafe plus 270 as a road dog. Saturday, 11 o'clock, Alaves Atletico, 1 o'clock, Real Sociedad, 1:30, Girona Sevilla, and 3:30, Real Madrid Mallorca. Sunday, 11 o'clock, Celta Vigo Villarreal, 1 o'clock, Betis Athletic, 1:30, Espanyol Osasuna, and 3:30, Real Barcelona. And then no soccer till the 12th, so there must be something big going on. Bundesliga. Today, 2:30 is Hamburg and St. Pauli. Hamburg plus 140, St. Pauli 2-1. The draws plus 220. I'm going to go with Hamburg plus 140. All right, Saturday, 9:30 RP Leipzig, Heidenheim, Hoffenheim, Frankfurt, Stuttgart, Gladbach, Bremen, Leverkusen, and 12:30 Augsburg, Bayern. Sunday, 9:30 Wolfsburg, Mainz, 11:30 Dortmund, Union Berlin, 1:30 Cologne, Freiburg. Syria, 12:30 Cremonese and Sassuolo. Cremonese plus 155, Sassuolo plus 185, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with Cremonese plus 155 home. And then 245 is Lecce Milan. Milan minus 170, Lecce 5-1, the draws plus 280. Let's go over 2.5 goals, plus 102. Saturday, 12:30, Bologna, Como, Parma, Atalanta, 2:45, Napoli, Cagliari, and in Pisa, AS Roma. And then Sunday, 12:30, Genoa, Juventus, Torino, Fiorentina, 2:45, Inter Milan, Udinese, and Lazio, Verona. And then they don't go again until September 13th. EFL, 3 o'clock, Leicester and Birmingham. I'm going to... Leicester plus 150, Birmingham plus 190, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with Birmingham plus 190. I think they can beat Leicester. And then Saturday's a big slate. 7:30, Borough, Sheffield United, QPR, Charlton, Stoke, West Brom, 10 o'clock, Blackburn, Norwich City, Bristol City, Hull, Ipswich, Derby, Millwall, Wrexham, Oxford United, Coventry, Portsmouth, Preston, Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, and Watford, Southampton. The Women's League, a couple games tonight. 7:30, Louisville, Houston. Louisville plus 110, Houston plus 230, draw plus 230. We'll go with the draw plus 230. Orlando, Gotham. Orlando plus 140, Gotham plus 185, draw plus 230. Draw plus 230. 10:30, Portland, Utah. Portland minus 10, Utah 5-1, the draws plus 340. Portland should win. I'm going under 2.5 goals plus 112. And Seattle, San Diego. San Diego minus 135, Seattle plus 380, draw plus 250. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 112. All right, Saturday, 7:30 on Ion is KC, North Carolina. Sunday, 4 o'clock, CBS and Paramount. Washington, Chicago. Liga MX tonight, 3 games, 9 o'clock, Athletic St. Louis and Toluca. Toluca minus 110, Athletic St. Louis plus 260, draw plus 280. Go to draw plus 280. I don't know why Toluca is favored at that price. Juarez and Mazatlan. Juarez minus 130, Mazatlan plus 350, draw plus 240. Over 2.5 goals, plus 102. And 11 o'clock, Puebla, Monterrey. Monterrey minus 115, Puebla plus 290, draw plus 270. Monterrey's the pick, minus 115. They should be favored with the minus. All right, Saturday, 7 o'clock, Leon Carretero. 9 o'clock, Santos Tigres. Guadalajara, Cruz Azul, and 11 o'clock, America and Pachuca. Sunday, 6 o'clock, UNAM Atlas, and 11 o'clock, Tijuana Necaxa. All right, Premier League. Saturday, 7:30 on USA Network, Chelsea, Fulham. 10 o'clock on Peacock, Man United, Burnley. On USA, Sunderland, Brentford. Peacock, Spurs, Bournemouth. On Peacock, Wolves, Everton. And then 12:30 on Big NBC and Peacock, Leeds, Newcastle. Sunday, 9 o'clock on Peacock, Brighton, Man City. On USA, Nottingham Forest, West Ham. 11:30 on USA, Liverpool, Arsenal. 2 o'clock on USA, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. MLS over the weekend. Saturday, 7:30, Cincy, Philly, New England, Charlotte, NYCFC, DC, Red Bulls, Columbus, Toronto, Montreal, 8:30, Austin, San Jose, Minnesota, Portland, Nashville, Atlanta, Colorado at KC, St. Louis hosting Houston, and then Sunday, 10:45 is LAFC and San Diego. French League 1, Saturday, 11 o'clock, Lorient, Lille, 1 o'clock, Nantes, Auxerre, and 3 o'clock, Toulouse, PSG, and then Sunday, 9 o'clock, Angers, Rennes, 11:15, Monaco, Strasbourg, Le Havre, AC, Nice, Paris FC, Metz, and 2:45, Lyon and Marseille. All right, USL, 7 o'clock, Detroit, San Antonio, Indy, Louisville, Loudoun, Miami, Rhode Island, Charleston, 7:30, North Carolina, Hartford, Tampa, Pittsburgh, 9 o'clock, Colorado, Tulsa, New Mexico, Sacramento, 10 o'clock, Oakland, Monterey Bay, Orange County, Birmingham, 10:30, Vegas, Lexington, and Phoenix, El Paso. Dutch Air Devise. Today, 2 o'clock, FC Groningen and Heracles. Groningen minus 180, Heracles plus 480, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with... Ooh. I thought Groningen might have had a lesser minus. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals minus 104. Alright, Saturday, 10:30, FC Volendam Ajax, 12:45, Heerenveen Go Ahead Eagles, 2 o'clock, PSV Telstar, and 3 o'clock, Excelsior FC 20. Sunday, 6:15, Fortuna NEC, 8:30, PSV Zwolle FC Utrecht, Sparta Feyenoord, and 10:45 is NAC Breda and AZ Alkmaar. And then last but not least is Premiership. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Livingston Hearts and Motherwell Kilmarnock, and then Sunday, 7 o'clock, Rangers Celtic, 9 o'clock, Dundee United, 10 o'clock, Aberdeen and Falkirk, and Hibernian and St. Mirren. So there you have it for soccer. Now we'll move on to the U.S. Open. We'll go over yesterday's results, look ahead to everything today and the weekend. We'll start at the men's from yesterday, second round. 14 Tommy Paul over Nuno Borges in 5. 18 Alex Demeter over Shintaro Machuski in 3. Daniel Altmaier upsets 2016 Stefano Tsitsipas in 5. 25 Felix Auger-Aliassime over Roman Salfin in 3. 3 Alexander Zverev over Jacob Friendly in 3. 23 Alexander Bublik over Tristan Skulkit in 3. Jaume Munar over 31 Gabriel Diallo in 3. 1 Jannik Sinner over Alexei Popyrin in 3. 24 Flavio Cobolli over Jensen Brooksby in 5. Leonardo Riti over 19 Francisco Cerundolo in 5. 2017 Denis Shapovalov over Valentin Royer in 4. Kamil Majoric upsets 19 Karen Kakdavov in 5. Coleman Wong over Adam Walton in 4. 10 Lorenzo Musetti over David Goffin in 3. Zizou Bergs over 5 Jack Draper in a walkover. Draper got injured. And then 15 Andrei Rublev over Tristan Boyer in 4. Right, the third round matches are out today, 11 o'clock. Benjamin Bonzi and Arthur Rinderek. 20 seed Yuri Lecheka and Rafael Collington. 11:30, 32 seed Luciano Dardi and 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz. 1:30, 6 seed Ben Shelton and Adrian Manarino. 3 o'clock, 17 seed Francis Tiafoe and Jan Leonard Struff. 5 o'clock, Ugo Blanket and 21 seed Thomas Maycock. 7 o'clock, 17 Novak Djokovic and Cam Norrie. I can't believe Novak Djokovic is down to a 7 seed. That tells you all you need to know, unfortunately. And at 8 o'clock, you have 4 seed Taylor Fritz and Jerome Kim. All right, third round matches for Saturday. Times are to be determined. Daniel Altmaier and 18 Alex Demeter. 1 seed Jannik Sinner and 2017 Denis Shapovalov. 23 seed Alexander Bublik and 14 seed Tommy Paul. 10 seed Lorenzo Musetti and 24 seed Flavio Cobolli. Kamil Majoric and Leonardo Riti. Jaume Munar and Zizou Bergs. 3 seed Alexander Zverev and 25 seed Felix Auger-Aliassime. And Coleman Wong and 15 seed Andrei Rublev. And then round of 16 begins Sunday. Women's from yesterday, second round, 18 Amanda Anisimova over Maya Joint in 2. 3 seed Coco Gauff over Donna Vacek in 2. 15 seed Daria Kasakima over Kamila Rakimova in 3. Jacqueline Christian over Ashlyn Kruger in 3. Diane Parry over Renata Zazura in 3. 11 seed Carolina Muchova over Sorana Sarista in 3. Laura Siegman over Anastasia Zakova in 2. 23 seed Naomi Osaka over Haley Baptist in 2. 2018 Magdalena French over Peyton Stearns in 3. 2017 Marta Kasiuk over Zineb Somnas in 3. 2 Sidiga Swiatek over Susan Layman's in 3. 2019 Anna Kalinskaya over Yulia Putintseva in 2. 18 Beatrice Haddad-Baya over Viktorija Golubic in 2. 21 seed Linda Noskova over Evelis in 2. 13 Ekaterina Alexandrova over Ziyu Wang in 2. And Maria Sakkari over Anna Bodnar in 3. Or in 2, I'm sorry. And then today, 11 o'clock, 19 Elena Rybakina and Emma Rakhanu. 12:30, 19 Elise Mertens and Kristina Buska. 1 o'clock, Marketa Vondrasova and 17 Jasmine Paolini. 14 Jessica Bazula and Victoria Azarenka. 1:50, Priscilla Hone and Alan Lee. 4:30, Tentina Navarro and Barbara Krejcikova. 7 o'clock in primetime, 1 seed Arena Sablenka and 3-1 seed Leyla Fernandez. And 8:30, Taylor Townsend and 5 seed Mira Andreeva. Saturday times TBD, 21 seed Linda Noskova and 11 seed Carolina Muchova. 13 seed Ekaterina Alexandrova and Laura Siegman. 20 seed Magdalena French and 3 seed Coco Gauff. 15 seed Daria Kasatkina and 23 seed Naomi Osaka. 8 seed Amanda Anisimova and Jacqueline Christian. Diane Parry and 27 seed Marta Kostyuk. 29 seed Anna Kalinskaya and 2 seed Iga Swiatek. And 18 seed Beatrice Haddad-Maya and Maria Sakkari. So there you have it for tennis. Now we will move on to NASCAR. We have races this weekend. We'll make picks. First up, at noon tomorrow from Darlington, the Truck Series. There's not a lot of truck races left. NASCAR is going to be over in a little less than 3 months from now. So I'm going to pull up NASCAR real quick on DraftKings Truck Series. All right. Sober or Slammer, 200. We'll go Ty Majeski, 14-1. Xfinity tomorrow night from Portland, the Pacific Office Automation, 147. My pick for this race. I'm going to go with an easy pick. I'm going to go with Austin Hill at 12-1. In the Cup Series, Sunday night, 6 o'clock from Darlington, the Cookout Southern 500 from Darlington. Chase Briscoe, 12-1's interesting. I could see him winning this race. Why not? I'm going with Chase Briscoe at 12-1. And now Formula One. The F1 race this weekend will be in Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Should be an interesting race. Max Verstappen is 5-1. The favorite's Oscar Piastri, who won the Belgian Grand Prix. Lando Norris won British and Hungarian. And the Australian. Lando Norris has been hot. Gage Russell won Canadian. Piastri won Spanish. So Piastri's been on a roll, and so has Lando. Max hasn't won since May 18th at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. So this race is Sunday morning at 9. Oh wait, this is the Vegas Grand Prix is up. That's what this is. So that makes sense that one's not posted. But, like, blind pick, I think Verstappen can win. I'm going to give out Verstappen, but I don't know the odds. I just realized that that's just sort of Vegas Grand Prix. So there you have it for Formula One. Now move on to the news and notes for today. Monster news coming out of the NFL yesterday. The Dallas Cowboys trade away Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers for defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks. A lot of moving parts here. First of all, Packers read the situation with Dallas. They knew that deal. It looked like it was sour, and then they pushed and pushed, and they put the nice offer together and get a premier pass rusher to go with Rashawn Gary on that front line. And I think that addition, I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win the division now, but I just might. I think they should be the favorites in that division with that move. I mean, Detroit might have something to say about that, but Micah Parsons is that good. He's better than Aiden Hutchinson. And with that move, he's now probably their best player. He was the Cowboys' best player. I think he's now the Packers' best player. No disrespect to the quarterback, Jordan Love, who's good, but Micah Parsons is a better football player than a lot of quarterbacks in this league. Maybe every single one of them except for the big three, and you can make a case for Joe Burrow. Like, that's how good Micah Parsons is. And it's a disaster for the Cowboys. No other way to put it. I think that there's a chance that they're a last place team now without Parsons. Especially, I mean, that's if the Giants surprise. If the Giants are terrible, then they're still going to finish in third. They were probably finishing third with Micah Parsons anyway, but I think they're closer to the Giants in that division than Washington now with trading away of Parsons. Meanwhile, Kenny Clark is going to start for them at D tackle. But they really don't have a pass rush anymore without Parsons. And they lost to Marcus Lawrence. And, like, their D is not D for defense, it's D for disaster. That's what it is for the Cowboys. And there's so much turmoil and so much dysfunction. Jerry Jones, I just think, has lost his mind. He's not a good general manager. He's not. He needs to give that reign to his son. And I don't think his son would have traded away Micah Parsons. Or maybe he would have, but this is a big surprise to a lot of people. I think that you're not used to the Cowboys trading away a superstar. Other than Herschel Walker back in the day. But it's a stunner, and I think Green Bay not only should be favorites in that division, but they have to be right there at the Eagles to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. But what could hold them back is the lack of weapons for Jordan Love at wide receiver. That's the only thing that's going to hold the Packers back. The Cowboys, to me, are closer to the Giants in that division now than Washington. Although you could argue some may say Washington might be closer to the Giants in that division than the Eagles. Because a lot of people think the Commanders are going to take a step back. Am I one of those people? From a win total standpoint, yes, but they might still make the playoffs because I'm not in love with the NFC that much. But things can change in less than a week. So you'll have to see for my predictions on where these teams land. But I'll tell you what, the Cowboys are not going to finish with a winning record, that's for sure. With the trading of their best player. And Green Bay will definitely have 10 or more wins. So we'll talk about that more as the... as the days come. Connor McDavid wants to win in Edmonton, but his future is still up in the air. We talked about that on the podcast a couple of weeks ago with the What's on My Mind. And I think that's going to be the biggest story in hockey between now and the next summer. Harrison Smith of the Vikings has a health issue. We don't know what it is. He'll recover, but his availability and timeline still remains uncertain. That's not great for Minnesota. Rick Barnes got a lifetime coaching contract with Tennessee. So that's interesting. The Red Sox cut Walker Buehler. And their top lefty pitching prospect, Peyton Tolle, is starting tonight against Paul Skeens and the Pirates. That's probably why they're a dog. But that's not fair, because Pittsburgh stinks and it's not all about pitching. Frankie Montas got Tommy John surgery and he's going to be out for the rest of this year and all next year. Corey Seager has appendicitis and he'll be out for a period of time after going surgery. Russell Wilson seems happy to see Micah Parsons leave the NFC East. I'm sure Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts are doing backflips as well. Lee Corso got honored at the airport as he gets a tribute ahead of his retirement. His last game day is tomorrow. And I guarantee you he's going to put on his OG baby, which is the Buckeye head. It's fitting. PJ Washington extension likely, as he'll be eligible for a 4-year deal worth $90 million. Kyle Schwarber had a 4-homer game last night, which was awesome. Victor Robles' suspension reduced to 7 games after the appeal. Calvin Ridley hypes Cam Ward. It says it is time to dominate, he says. The Pirates waive Isaiah Kiner-Falefa on waivers. We'll see who picks him up. Ryan Helsley is tipping pitches as he's working to correct arm position amid glaring and obvious issue. The Mets got him at the trade deadline. The Cowboys brass was aligned on the trade as Brian Schottenheimer says it was a unanimous decision to move Micah. Wow. And Kenny Clark tells Cowboys fans to check out his tape. The Patriots released Jabril Peppers. He had $4.32 million left on his deal. Alex Guerrero joins the Raiders as he's the team's wellness coordinator. Jerry Jones hints the Cowboys might make another move. Micah Parsons came out with a statement. People are calling out Jerry Jones across the NFL. Ben Shelton's out of the U.S. Open due to injury. The Cowboys could have stopped the Micah trade as Dallas declined Micah's request to continue contract negotiations this week. And we still don't know the draft picks that Dallas is going to be getting. Okay. Best bet brought to you by FanDuel. I'm laying... I want to lay the points at Georgia Tech. I just don't think Colorado's going to be good. I think they're going to be a disaster this year. So, I am going to go with Georgia Tech minus the 3 in the hook. Against Colorado. All right, Fab 5 time. This is going to be fun. This is my favorite thing to do during the college football season. I'm going to do 0.03 of a unit on the picks. All right, so without further ado, here we go. Pick number 1 of 2025 in the Fab 5 is going to be the Toledo Rockets getting 9.5 points at Kentucky. I just think that they're a good team, and they can absolutely go into Kentucky and win the game outright. So I'm going to take them getting 9.5 at Kentucky. Pick number 2 is going to be the Georgia Southern Eagles. They are only giving 1.5 against Fresno State, which I think is offensive. I don't know why my things keep going out. There we go. So 1.5 Georgia Southern's next. Next up, I went with this team a lot last year, but I'm going back to the well. If it bites me in the ass, I'm not going to pick them again. Oregon State minus 1.5 against Cal. I just think that Cal stinks and Oregon State's going to be better than people think, so I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Oregon State against Cal. Pick number 4 of the Fab 5. I am going to take the Roadrunners of UTSA getting points at Texas A&M. In-state game. Not sold on Texas A&M, quite frankly. And UTSA is going to be one of the better teams in the UTSA this year. So I'm going to take UTSA getting the 22 in the hook against Texas A&M. And the last pick of the Fab 5 for week 1 will be the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. They are a huge underdog at home against Mississippi State. 14.5. That's disrespectful. And then the underdog outright pick of the week, the Tulane Rockets plus 290. So there you have it for today's show, and I'll be back on Monday recapping everything and looking at everything on Monday, including Bill Belichick's debut against TCU. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.